What's up, guys? Welcome to On the Reel. My name's John.
My name's Brandon.
My name is Alex.
And we're going to be talking about the industry and how we got started. And this is kind of like our intro to the pilot. That didn't make any sense. That really sounded stupid.
That's all right.
It's okay.
No,
it's a learning process.
It's a
We'll
working
get better
process.
at the intros, John.
Yeah, this is going to be really tricky, honestly.
I think we're to start. We're the guys that are always like, let's do it.
Yeah. So I guess who we are. We're the Reelbros.
I think that's what also gets us into the most trouble.
I can agree with that.
Well,
one.
now it does.
I can definitely agree with that.
But,
but
without trouble, you're not going to,
Usually the most trouble.
If you're not getting in trouble, you're not doing anything.
Yeah.
And trouble makes for some really good stories, which I'm sure we'll get into later on.
And trouble's a broad thing, too.
Podcast, too, is the trials and tribulations that we've been through so far.
Yeah.
Which have been countless. I can't count on my two hands.
Yeah, but anyway, you guys probably have no idea what this is going to be about right now because this is what we're starting out. We're trying to figure this out, but we're going to have a lot of fun with it. It's going to be a no bullshit kind of scenario on...
John's mind just went blank.
No, on the industry and how we work and how
okay.
how we got to where we are now and where we want to go into the future. Because trust me, we're not thinking, today. We're thinking
in
years from now.
Years from now, yeah.
So
5-year plan.
We're ready to go.
Think of it as knowing when to take calculated risks, when to gamble on things, and how to get through situations that you find yourself in. That's really what the podcast is about. Also,
we're going to talk about how we deal with every single one of those categories.
Yeah.
And how our life is affected by those, because that's the most important part. Those are the times that all the downtime that everyone doesn't hear about and all the good times that everyone does hear about. We want to kind of switch that. We want to tell you about all the hard times that it takes to get to this point that we are at. And
we do get a lot of questions on, how do you get where you're at or where not. But it's like, it's not just one answer. It's
stories.
It's years. It's stories. Yeah, it's stories. It's stories.
It's definitely stories.
It's stories. And I think that's why we want to do this. We at the end of the day at the office, we tend to talk about a lot of different stories that where and how we got us. How it got us here. Like, how did we get here? And stuff like that. And then we reminisce on that, and that kind of helps us figure out where to go in the future.
Yep.
I think that helps, kind of push us to the next step of like, okay, well, we did that. Let's figure out what that is. But I mean, even getting into that, what do we do? Let's tell the people what do we do for the people that don't know who we are.
So, John and I, we were in college. We were in the same major, and we spent.
Wasn't film school though.
It was not film school. It was at Arizona State University. It was called Graphic Information Technology at the Polytechnic campus.
Basically, like a mini advertising firm.
Yes, that's how we like to think of it. We met there. Actually, I'm sorry. We met at the Graphic Design School at Tempe. We didn't like it, so we moved to the other major at Polytechnic, and we spent years there doing group projects for video, as that was part of our focus.
Video, photo, commercial photography, web design,
Yep.
web development, animation, all kinds of different stuff. So we learned a lot of different aspects of the creative industry. That's pretty what it was. There was a class called creative industry, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we kind of did those classes, and the video program was new when we did it. Okay, we sound like we're old. We graduated 2017.
Yep.
And right after that started this.
Yep. John and I did a lot of projects throughout our classes, and instead of just putting our names down for the project, we wanted to come up with something creative. And I remember the specific story in which this came about. We were driving home from class, and we were just kind of frustrated with school, and we said, what can we do? Like, well, do we want to start like a YouTube channel? Do we want to keep doing this creative production in school and have a branding behind that? And I think we kind of landed at that, and I came up with the name Reelbros, and then we branded it that night from that drive home from school. And we didn't think it was anything serious at the time, but over time, that's always the logo that stuck with us. We loved it. We loved the branding and the non-seriousness of the whole aspect of it. So we carried along with it, and that's how we branded our projects from junior year to senior year, I think, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was just a way of putting together a group name. Instead of writing 6 names down, it was just the Reelbros.
Exactly.
Or just us 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes the projects were bigger.
Sometimes the projects had like 7 to 8 people on, and then a lot of the times it had just John and I.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
A lot of our projects stem from just taking extra credit opportunities in our classes.
Yep. Well, we were lucky enough that the video class was so fresh and new that we can tell the teacher, like, hey, we're going to go shoot this crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And, we have this equipment. It's like, we didn't have a lot of equipment. We had, a new Sony at the time.
We had, I think, actually,
we didn't have a lab. We didn't have mics. We had a Sony. We didn't even have a monitor. It was just a camera.
It was just your Nikon.
It was just
your Nikon D810.
It was just the Nikon, my photo camera.
Actually, it was your 7100. We shot our first project on, and that's a photo camera. And I remember we didn't even have at the time we weren't even using a tripod. We were just using our gimbal. And our first project, the ADOT project, which is Arizona Department of Transportation, we shot all day. We shot the equipment that they had out there, and then interviews roll around, and we're like, oh, crap, what do we do? Like, we've never done this before, blah, blah, blah.
Mics.
We need mics. We'll just use the onboard camera audio. And then we kind of used John as a human stand for a solid 30-minute interview.
That sucked.
And John held the entire gimbal above his head for like 30 minutes.
I mean, you can go see the frame. It like literally moves around.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not crazy,
to do a
but
lot
it's like
of post-production work to
and
make
it wasn't
that
heavy.
look good.
It was the Ronin MX.
It wasn't, but
and it was
when
the
you have that
Sony
above your head for 30 minutes, that adds
monitor. Yeah. But all this stuff that we used, the monitor, the labs, I don't even know what brand they were. They were just from school.
I don't even believe we used a lav at that time.
No, we did. We had a lab. Yeah, it was just a lav, but it was wired. It wasn't wireless. So it was a long cable, so we had to stay a certain distance from the subject as the camera. So because the cable was only so long.
Yeah.
That sucked. Anyway. Anyway, we did that, and we got credit for all those projects. So ASU, after that one, we get credit. We didn't have to do other specific projects or other paperwork or all the the other stupid paperwork that we did in class. Our teacher just sent us on all these projects. He said, hey guys, John and Brandon, there's a thing that you can go shoot. You want to go do it for credit? I'm like, yeah. It eventually got to the point where they sent us to Samoa. ASU sent us to Samoa to do a project.
Our professor kind of branded our name out there to other professors in the engineering college, and that brought us to Dr. Hosman, and she's a professor over at the Polytechnic School, and she invited us on this, what was it, like a week and a half, 2 week adventure in Samoa.
Northeast of Australia, a little island, third world country. Yeah. Yeah, wild. These kids.
Crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was super cool. But we did a documentary. I don't want to go into the specifics, but we were showing this basically small computer that has solar panels on it that gives all these kids that don't have internet, access to internet, basically a library, a mobile library that has books and movies and all kinds of different stuff for education purposes. So we did a whole video on that. Turned out great. They're still using it today. I mean, I just saw another ad.
Yeah, and that's like 2 years later.
Yeah, it was 2 years ago. And it turned out great. And we actually rented another camera, or did we use both of our cameras?
We used both. I actually had gotten my first video camera at that time.
Yeah, we bought another one just before that. We bought a drone, the DJI, the Phantom 4 Pro.
The Phantom 4 Pro.
That thing's a beast.
Yep.
But the cool thing is, actually, even speaking of the drone, bringing that on the island, the kids have never seen an airplane fly across the island.
That's a great point.
Flying that drone
we have
was wild.
footage of some of these kids seeing anything flying for the first time. The teachers there even told us that, this is the first time they're seeing anything in the air.
Yeah, let alone a little robot that has a camera on it that shoots 4K. I didn't know that, but still, it was crazy. The experience of just putting that up in the air, and just having fun, and seeing those kids freak out. It was cool.
You could take that drone off all day, and they would be entertained.
Oh my god, it was like herding cattle. They just chase it.
That's exactly.
It was wild.
But coming back from that trip, and we actually edited that video on location in our hotel room we actually stayed in the Peace Corps Hotel.
Probably, yes, we did.
And all that content was delivered the next day, the morning after we shot it.
We had to get it done for some. It was a hard deadline.
Stayed up all night.
Stayed up all night. The professor was in there. The students were in there. They were helping us crank it out. We were editing on Final Cut because we had the Max at the time.
Yep.
The new Max.
Yeah.
And so it was, for where we were at that position in time, the Final Cut was way better and way quicker to get that stuff done and exported
Right.
in a timely manner.
We needed speed.
We needed
efficiency.
speed, and then the Wi-Fi was slow too, so it was
very
crazy.
slow.
But we got it done, and they loved it, and still using it.
I think our upload time for the video took we sat in that office for 3 hours or something like that.
Yeah.
And I think
And that was Peace Corps. That's the Peace Corps Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
They had their own specific satellite just for their own deal. Anyway, going from that, basically that's where Brandon and I kind of started the video stuff. I and Alex came from photo in a way. We did a lot of automotive photography. That's kind of where I've done photography my whole life. So has Alex. Brandon's always had a love for it as well. Brandon, at the time during school, when I met him during graphic design, was a Photoshop wizard.
Yeah.
That's what he knew. And I was
what I
blown
loved.
away. I mean, still to this day, I'm like, Brandon, I don't know how to do this. Do this. So I learned a lot from doing that, and he still does a lot of our design, the majority of our design, from those, the logos, all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of where our team kind of came together: photo, graphic, and then actually Alex did industrial design too, which helps us going into the future now build a lot of our equipment that we haven't had access to purchase. We've built built basically everything. We can't jib. We built what the heck else have we built? We basically built up cable cam.
We built a cable cam.
Yeah,
we built the chase car rig, stuff like that.
Yeah. But by doing that, it's helped us learn how to properly use the real equipment and learn how to fix it quickly and learn how it really, really works.
Right.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
I think my seriousness in Reelbros starts when I got asked by John to help him make the cable cam setup.
Yeah.
And I got brought a CAD model and some pile of parts and
It was
whatnot.
horrible.
And it was basically like, can we make this work?
Yeah.
And I moved back after I graduated 2016 and then moved out to LA, worked in advertising and whatnot. Moved back to Arizona after some differences with the creative teams out there.
You graduated a year before us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moved back to Arizona with kind of the freelancer on my mind, and was freelancing video, photo, film design, basically anything I could get my hands on. Got asked to jump in on some projects with John, cable cam, short films, stuff like that, and kind of realized that I was slowly finding the means between engineering and art, and the idea of designing for filmmaking and stuff like that. So the cable cam project came through, and I was super eager to do it. Jumped on board with no questions asked. Started 3D printing stuff for it and whatnot.
Yeah. Well, that was a senior project of mine. I was doing the relationship between a drone and cable cam, and how those two differ, and how now we know what the extreme difference is. But even then, my paper still is relevant till now. But we were building it, and we had no idea how to build it. But we had a random frame. We did as much research as we could. Built a simple CAD file that, my roommate at the time, Dalton, was learning engineering and was learning the CAD, and so he kind of drew that out and then gave it to Alex, and then from there we went
spent
to
a whole day at Polytechnics.
You guys got a water jet cut out.
The water jet,
like that.
We spent a solid 5 hours there that one day.
Yeah, we were just cutting it out. What is it, sheet metal? I don't know what it was.
We just showed up at the building and asked some of the engineer students, hey, can you show us how to use some of this machinery?
It was two sheets of metal.
If this is
bolts.
if we can just go off on a tangent real quick, as a filmmaker, I'll say the most valuable thing you can do is, because the equipment is extremely expensive at a certain level.
No, for sure.
Anytime you
We
get
couldn't
into
afford anything.
A jib, a chase car, cable cam, stuff it's extremely expensive. So something that I've personally done, and then you guys too, is you build it. You want it so bad that you watch enough YouTube videos and you look at enough pictures that you're like, hey, I can try.
I can make this happen.
I can make this happen. I can put this together.
Yeah, no, totally.
And some of the biggest learning experiences as a filmmaker, specifically in camera movement, have come from building my own jib, building a cable cam.
I was
stuff
just about to say that
the
the jib specifically, we just got a 40-foot jib, and the day it gets here, it comes with no instruction manual.
Yeah.
And Alex and I are left to.
You may seem it's not rocket science, right? You're like, oh, it's just a jib. Yeah, but you still.
But you want to do these things right, because not at the end of the day, when that thing's 40 feet out,
over thousands of people's heads,
you have hundreds of pounds over people's heads.
Hundreds.
And you want to make sure that it's
safe.
Yeah, it's safe.
So learning how to build it
and it's
properly
the same thing with our cable cam.
Yeah, lets you
learning
understand
how to properly build it, fully building out a couple times so you have efficiency in building it. I think that's completely viable
that's what's
in
helped
the
us.
position you're in.
Yeah.
Well, and you also get enough understanding of the concept of what you're trying to do when you're building it yourself, and you can build something that is good enough to get the shot that you need.
Yep.
Sure.
But you're gonna fail a lot.
Actually,
while
we should tangent off into what that means for us. I mean, when we didn't have access to something like a black arm or the moto crane that we now have access to.
We didn't even know that stuff existed.
We didn't know that existed, but now we have access to those pieces of equipment through the many trials and error that we've been through. But it started out with kind of John and Alex brainstorming a little bit and going to the closet section of Home Depot, and we made a chase rig for a music video that we had, which was with Deli Every Day.
So not speed rail, like
shout out to Deli Every Day.
Deli Every Day.
But we used speed rail to build that rig out, and we have pictures on Instagram if you go back far enough and
they're
check
still on
it
our
out.
website. We don't care. It worked.
No, we don't care. It's about the process we're in.
We shot the OG Ferrari North Scottsdale stuff of the super fast on the closet hanger chase car rig.
Ferrari didn't know a difference.
No.
And but we did have it was a movie.
No, it looked. No, we had that was the Ronin MX on
no.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
It
At
was.
the time.
You're right.
Yeah, so we had.
But you roll up with that.
Yeah,
and
they had no idea.
They looked at it and they thought it was like.
But as our systems evolve,
the next best thing.
Yeah, as our chase car systems evolve, our heads evolved with it, and that's because we were gaining clients that were able to
afford us the opportunity
to reach
to learn more about
to learn more and to get to the actual pieces of equipment that are reliable and viable on your set.
Yeah,
you don't have to worry. You don't have to show up. You don't have to worry about the MX breaking out.
Yeah.
Or the motors not being able to withstand the speeds that you're going at.
Yeah.
Whereas now we show up with a Ronin 2 and a black arm. We don't have to worry about the isolation. And
we get those equipment because we know they work, and
exactly.
And we don't need to worry about them.
What I don't think a lot of people realize, though, is, we shoot on that equipment now, but 4 to 5 years ago, we were the guys that were taking a jib, and we were bolting a gimbal.
This is
my old non-brushless gimbal, so it's servo-based that makes a lot of noise. Bolting that onto the end of a jib, and then ratchet strapping it into the back of a truck.
Yeah, which people still do now, but
chasing cars around the city.
We did that with Street Standard at the time, with Matt Hagen and Corey Hosford. Shout out to those guys.
This was back in, what year was that? 2015? 2015. Was it? When I lived in my apartment.
Yeah, it was the summer I was supposed to go home, and my parents were like, when are you coming home? I'm like, I'm still working on a project.
You stayed home for the project.
I stayed home for the project.
That was 2015.
Yeah, so it was summer in Phoenix, and at night, we were shooting in the middle of the night. It was like, midnight? We started.
It was like 100 degrees
it's
outside.
Still 103. We're dying.
Phoenix in the middle of the summer.
Sweating.
We're all just in tank tops.
We had
in
tripods.
The back of a truck.
We rented Sony's, the A7.
We rented an A7 S2.
No,
S1. It was an S1.
Yeah, just S.
Because the low light. And then we were running a Metabones adapter with my Canon 24 to 105 lens on it. And then we had my Invincible Rabbit gimbal. Which is for a drone, technically, that I built handles for, hanging off the jib as we chase this car around downtown Phoenix.
We used that truck a lot. We did have the Inspire 1. We had the Inspire 1. I had the Inspire 1 at the time, which was awesome, which we flew literally in downtown. And we had, we were lucky enough to shoot this. I wish we, you say that all the time. I wish we knew what we knew now back then, because he would have been sick. But we got to redo that video. But it was the 21st Liberty Walk, Murcielago, all black.
With
it was
Matt Hagen.
Yeah, and it was Street Standard's kind of debut car.
Yep.
And we were shooting in mid-downtown, and it was wild, and it caused so much attention at midnight that the cops showed up at we were stopped at a gas station.
Yep.
And they're like, cops roll up, we're like, oh God, here's the typical filmmakers.
No, they were like, this is the Lamborghini we've been talking about on the radio all night long.
Yeah, they've been chatting about it. Yeah.
What are you doing?
They're like, you shouldn't be here. This is at a, you guys shouldn't have that car at this gas station right now. So we'll take you somewhere. So it was him. It was what? Was it one police car or two?
No,
more
3.
guys met up later.
It was 3 or 4 of them by the end of the night.
Oh my gosh, yeah. There was one that showed up at the gas station. They're like, "Hey guys, we'll help you tonight." We're like, "What?" "Yeah, we'll just give you a police escort." We're like, "What?" I mean, looking back at it now, you know how much that costs now to to get cops for a full night.
They looked at us and they were like, "What intersection do you want to shut down? Just let us know."
Yeah,
and we'll do it.
We literally go over there, and all of a sudden, more cops showing up. Like their buddies are like, "Oh, look at this, is sick!" And literally, we'd be shutting down intersections, regardless if it was green or red,
in the middle of downtown Phoenix,
and we were just bolting through them. And it was, I mean, I talk about that all the time. That's crazy. Like, it's wild, but.
And then you cut 2 years later, and we are shutting down PCH with
California.
Full-fledged production.
Yeah, providing our chase vehicle, pursuit car.
Yep.
That is literally the difference, though. Is it's years, and people don't realize that. Like, we thought we were doing really dope, awesome.
Oh
shit!
Well, legit.
Way back then,
we were for where we were at.
Yeah.
Like, at that moment in time, we were doing
really
cool, crazy,
fucking shit.
Yeah,
that's why we did it.
Yeah, for sure.
Because we always want to do the dope stuff.
Right.
But it's like a reality check when you get years down the road and you're shooting like legitimate commercial work.
Yeah.
No, it's like
that's an unreal moment. Go? We call over the radio and they shut down PCH outside of Malibu, and we take the shots we need. Yeah. And we did that all day long. And that is the biggest difference from like the guerrilla days where you're out there shooting and you're like, fuck, there's a car in the background, or like, shit, we gotta wait till there's no cars coming through right now, or the cops are gonna show up.
Or you gotta hope that you have a couple of police officers on duty that will shut down the highway for you.
Hey, they're super psyched about what you're shooting,
and
are like, I don't have anything better to do, because if I don't do this, I'm going to deal with crackheads all day long.
Hey, I'm just saying, if you're shooting stuff right now and you don't have the opportunity to obviously get permits and all that, you don't even know what a permit is or how to even go about doing that. You got to just go out there and go do it.
Yeah.
Even if the cop comes by, they don't care. You're not holding a gun in your hand. You're holding a camera.
It's better to ask for forgiveness than it is to ask for permission.
Yeah, it's not even forgiveness. The majority of the time, unless you're in a seriously illegal place.
Unless you're those guys in California this week that got pulled over for shooting a music video in like Calabasas that had a loaded handgun on them and stuff like that.
That was actually a country singer just died because
he shot himself in the head
on accident because they had a loaded gun on a music video.
Yeah.
My dad texted me right after that. He's like, "Hey, when you guys are shooting music videos, make sure you don't have a loaded gun." I'm like,
"You would never do that."
No shit.
That's amateur hour. Right?
We just you have a fake gun. It's a prop gun, not a real gun. You don't
and if you need a round to go off, then you have
a fucking blank.
You have a blank.
Anyway,
I heard that all fucking week long from people though. Like, dude, did you hear about this? Fuck.
Yeah, but it's
fuck that.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Anyway, off that tangent. If you're doing this stuff by yourself, just go out and do it. The cops come up to you and say, "Hey, I'm just shooting stuff." Unless you're seriously like breaking the law and going somewhere seriously illegal, don't do that. But if you're just shooting in the middle of downtown somewhere, or wherever you think a cop's gonna pull you over, just expect it, because it will happen 100%. Yeah. Regardless of what you're doing. Shooting video or photos or whatnot, they're going to come up to you. They're just going to ask you a question. What are you doing? Oh, I'm just shooting photos. Well, you can't do that here. Okay, yes, sir. Thank you. I'll go somewhere else. And go down the block and go shoot somewhere else. You're going to get two reactions. The first reaction is you can't do that. You got to leave. Blah blah blah. Or you're going to get hype. They are so interested in what you're doing that they'll hang around and even facilitate certain stuff on there. Yeah, because some of them are so bored. They're just they're having fun with it because they don't see that every night. It just depends. And they just don't get to deal with people that are doing cool, interesting stuff every day. They deal with criminals and people that are at the worst aspect of their life and stuff like this. And it's a refreshing aspect for them to see somebody out in the world doing something creatively. Exactly. And working hard at something. Right. And a lot of people that are police officers facilitate that. Yeah. They support it. Yeah, you just got to be reasonable with them. Sometimes they just because they're dealing with drunk people at 3 a.m. at all the time. So correct. Specifically on our Delhi Everyday shoot for one of his songs for his 365 challenge, we went out and we shot late nights a segment where he is in the light rail. Yeah, light rail. And this was with our closet hanger. Yeah, this was our closet hanger rig. Yeah. that we suction cupped. We had Avengers suction cups from photo days. Yeah. And let's just say the
the light rail operator, he was not too happy about our filming, and he kept slowing down, which was causing our shots to get ruined. And we could tell that he was not happy enough where he might have been calling.
You need to explain, like, the car, we were in a car, the camera was on our car, and we were shooting the train, and Deli was sitting inside the train rapping.
Right.
So we were on the phone with him, timing it, like, okay, go.
Right.
And then he'd rap inside the train while we were filming, and we were trying to track him. Like, imagine going downtown, city of downtown, trying to keep the same pace with him, and timing
all the
and
curves and
it was wild.
that the light rail goes through.
But if you go
because
on
it's
our
not straight.
website, that's literally that's still our banner.
Yeah.
A little BTS behind the scene thing. That's still our banner. Yeah, we
So
don't care.
still consider that
if you're
one of
interested
our-
in seeing the closet hanger chase rig, go to the website reelbrosmedia.com, and you can see it hanging off of the
we built a cloud mount with it.
the Audi wagon. We built a cloud mount on it, and the most ironic thing is we built this whole rig that was probably like under $200 at
Except for
Home
the Movi.
Depot.
Except for the Movi.
And then we hung a Movi Pro. No, we hung the Movi off of it.
Well, you might say that. Oh, why do you have closet hanger
With
stuff when you have a Movi Pro? It's like it wasn't our Movi Pro.
Yeah.
That's another podcast.
We
story
hung our friend's Movi with his cinema lens.
Keep in mind,
off
this is
the front end of our car for this.
This is the early days of Reelbros.
Early.
This is when
We're telling you
we
everything.
were
We don't care.
trying to accomplish a certain level of the industry that we couldn't necessarily get to at the time, but we had connections to execute it.
Yeah.
And
But to give you an example of like how we treat Real Bros in a way, and ourselves, and like the viewers that watch us all the time. Let's just say on Instagram, right? We don't care if we mess up. Let's just say this: we were at the new X5R, right? We were in the desert. There were some 4-wheelers down, and we were like, "Hey, let's go and shoot these 4-wheelers." We got the new camera. Guess what we do? They're up for it. We're go shoot some
Guess what
stuff.
John
We're getting
does.
some awesome shots. And yes, I'm flying, of course.
John's usually our drone pilot.
Yeah, no, that was great. I was getting a sick
and
shot.
of course,
The problem was
we don't have a spotter.
there's no
right
spotter,
now.
nor
Yeah.
there is a dual op on
Look,
the
we
Inspire
were winging
1.
it.
We just didn't have it. Yeah,
It was on the way home.
On
You're
the
like,
way
hey,
home.
we're passing by Glamis Dunes.
Let's
There's
talk.
a lot
but
of people
but we-
outside riding ATVs. Let's get
We've talked
something
about
for the
this
reel.
shot every single time we've driven through Glamis.
yeah, we wanted to do it every time.
Like, let's chase some ATVs with the drone.
Yeah,
Every
so-
single time. And we finally did it.
No, we did. And anyway, we're shooting the 4-wheelers, and I'm getting an awesome shot. I'm like, hey guys, we're getting a sick shot. All of a sudden, bam, just nailed a dune, and it was horrible. Anyway, we're gonna take a quick break, and we're gonna be right back after this. And we're back. What's up, guys? Take a little break there because we got to go to the bathroom.
You know, podcast things, you know?
Yeah.
This
Yep.
shit's happened.
That's how it goes sometimes.
Yeah. Actually.
So where were we?
Well, I was talking
were-
about crashing a drone. Anyway,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
No,
The purpose of what we're doing here is like no bullshit. It's like, yeah, we crash a drone and we lose a camera sometimes. It's like, it is what it is. These things are tools. They're meant to be used. If that happens, it happens. A lot of people like hide that stuff. Like, oh, I crashed a drone. I can't have anybody do that. Yes, in some certain circumstances, geez, like I'm fucking talking right now. A drone company, they can't do that, right? But we're not just a drone company. We are camera movement. That stuff happens. And hey, thank God it didn't happen on set.
Well, and
regardless,
no. You make sure that when that stuff happens,
you know how to fix it. We need
you
a
know how to
spotter
fix it,
and a dual op.
But when it happens in a very low risk environment.
Yeah,
Sure.
Sand dunes.
Yeah.
It was probably the best thing we could have crashed into.
When you risk it, you do. There's a thing called calculated risk, and we do it quite a bit. Calculated risk is when your margins for error are kind of high, but your risk for hurting people or whatnot are extremely low. You can push your camera system to a point to get the shot.
Yeah.
But given we do a lot of cable cam work right now, and when you're trying to get that shot over the crowd,
Which that's another story.
with the cable cam, which another
get into that
episode,
stuff. Yeah, it's a whole-
multiple
that's a whole
episodes
episode.
and
Yeah, that's a
stories
lot of
with
episodes.
that. But you're not going to risk it
Yeah.
because it's not worth it.
No.
Because there's people's lives at stake.
Right.
But if
Safety
you're-
is probably one of our. It's actually funny, but you may look at us like, oh, these guys are crazy. It's like, actually, safety is like one of our biggest things.
Yeah.
We're playing around with equipment that is serious stuff. And if it fails, then it could be catastrophic. So
And
safety is our
that's the part that nobody
thing.
ever sees because it's not glorious. It's like
Right,
the hours that you slave away at like.
But it's how you run a business.
You just
Looking
get
at
to
your
see the
bolts.
show reel with all the great shots
Exactly.
from that night. That's
Yeah.
it. And
And that's another story, too.
that's another story.
We got
That's why
so
we're
many
doing this.
stories. That's why we got episodes on episodes.
This is why this
guests
pilot
on
is...
guests. We
Well,
got some really exciting guests planned
actually,
for this podcast.
yes, we do.
To bring insight in because honestly, it's not just us.
Mm-hmm.
It's a series of people we've met, people we know from projects, whatnot, stuff we've learned from them. They've graciously opened up to us.
But
and
that's
taught
the
us-
industry.
They've taught us a lot.
Oh, a lot.
And that's something that I think we really want to bring to this podcast and share with you guys is that knowledge, those insights, those stories that
no bullshit.
we've experienced. The no bullshit. The
no
insight.
bullshit, exactly.
The 100% insight, like, fuck politics, fuck all that. Everybody at the end of the day is trying to make dope stuff.
Yeah.
That's why our motto is we shoot dope shit. Because we're trying to shoot the best content possible, make the greatest shots, and make it work. Make it profitable, make it a business, make a whole lot of things out of trying to shoot dope stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the guests that we are going to tailor towards our podcast are going to be directed towards people we've met that allow that experience to happen, that have taught us kind of what we know, and then people we meet on the way.
Yeah.
Because we've set the tone to meet a lot of really interesting people that I didn't even think we would have the
Opportunity to work with.
the opportunity to work with.
But you know why?
The doors have opened, though.
As we took that little break, I was like, why did we get those opportunities? You know why? Say yes.
No,
the amount of times that Brandon and I, or Alec, or all of us, I mean, specifically Brandon and I, because we started this, and for me personally, it's like, say yes. For me, it's a big thing. For Brandon and I, during school, it was a big thing. Say yes. I don't care if you don't know it or not. I took a lot of stuff and a lot of jobs and a lot of opportunities off of just not knowing really what it is, but then researching the crap out of it when I got home to really figure out how to do it. But the opportunities were there. Say yes. Don't say no. If you say no, you're never going to have that opportunity again, probably, right?
And you won't have the opportunity to learn.
Yeah,
I
learning is the biggest thing.
Failure is sometimes key.
Failure is the key.
I think this is a good opportunity to plug the knowledge that I brought to the table of like, if you get invited to something or an event or you get offered to do a job, there are 3 key points that you're going to look for. And if it meets 2 of those criteria, you should go regardless. If it doesn't meet 2 of the criteria of the 3, then it's not worth your time.
And pass.
And the 3 things is 1, are you going to learn something from the experience? Because if you're not going to learn something, then it might not be worth your time. But if you're going to learn something, and learning is a very broad term,
right?
It could be a failure.
Sure,
you'll learn a lot from that.
That's
then you should. That's one
that's
for you should go. Are you going to make money? Because at the end of the day, everybody has to live. Everybody has to sustain themselves. Yeah. So will you make a decent amount of money from doing this experience? Because if not, that might be a turnoff for you. If so, it might make it lucrative. And then the third is, are you going to network with people that will have a positive impact on your career and your life from this point forward? In your business. So are you going to meet people that are going to create opportunities for you down the road, create networking opportunities, stuff like that? Maybe you go to an event and you meet somebody and they need something that you're really good at, and you can then help them create that from that point forward.
I can do that.
So anytime that you get a job coming across your table or an event or maybe something that's not like super lucrative, like maybe it's a nonprofit that doesn't have the biggest budget in the world, you should ask yourself, does it meet 2 of the 3 criteria? So am I going to learn something from that? Am I going to make money from it? Or am I going to network from that?
Right.
And if it meets 2 of those criteria,
do it.
You should go.
Yep.
Because there's been situations where
the majority of our situations have not had money involved in it.
We've had the majority of our situations
what we're going to learn and who we're going to meet.
We're learning and meeting people.
That's been a huge investment
and
in our
we're creating
company,
opportunity from
our business.
So like we do a lot of nonprofit work for AZDS. We did Camis and Canines out in California.
Peace Corps,
stuff like that. We do a lot of nonprofit work. And that negates the money aspect to that, because you're not going to make money off those projects.
Right.
But what you're going to do is you're going to learn from them,
value.
and you're going to meet a lot of people, and you're going to network
Right.
on those projects to where you meet people that create other opportunities for you. And you're also generating like a social currency for yourself,
Right.
of knowing that you're having a positive impact on the lives of other people.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, you can make a lot of money doing commercial work and stuff, but it can still leave you like really empty in the end. But you have like a talent to tell a story or to create an image. And if you're able to apply that to help somebody else's cause, it is way more rewarding in the end than like the biggest paycheck you can think of.
Sure.
Is to be able to do that.
100% agree.
Yeah.
And that is reflected in the image of what you are as a person.
And the brand.
When you're facing the outside world.
Because you are your own brand.
Yeah.
At the time, the majority, whoever is listening, we don't even know, but like you may have your own brand and you may have your own company or you may work for a company, but whatever it is, you have your own brand, regardless of what it is.
Right.
And
Even if that just means your name.
Exactly.
At the end of the day.
And you have to own that brand, and you have to know what that brand means.
Yep.
And how you can use that brand's influence.
And what you're able to deliver to your clients.
To influence other people's
Exactly.
brands.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't know where to stem off that one.
I don't know where we're going with this
it's
one.
It's the awkward pauses that we don't know how to handle.
It's
so.
all right, but we'll figure it out.
The transitions in between conversations, but it's okay.
It's the first
Alex, I think that was a very good
that was
insight.
very good.
And
this is where
I
they're
think,
telling me I went off on a tangent.
No,
it wasn't
I
a
don't.
tangent. That was
I don't
good.
think a tangent is good on a podcast because that's how people learn the most.
I mean, we talk, so
when you let me know that piece of information, I think that was probably like 4 or 5 months ago. That kind of really changed the way I look at things, and now I do ask myself that question every time we go, and that does play a role in how I feel about the decisions we make, and I think it's positively affected my life and my decisions.
Yeah.
And
I mean, back then we used to.
I remember going on a shoot probably
We used to
2 weeks
bitch
ago?
about the money.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
oh my God,
No.
we're only getting $800. Like, we can't do
But-
anything
but-
with that.
but
But it
what
was
you
like,
don't
you look
realize
at
is
the
that
top
there's
side of it.
value in not just the
Exactly.
money, but the education and
Who
the
is it?
networking.
I
Because
remember
that
going on a
also
shoot.
leads to money.
I remember going on a shoot probably 2-3 weeks ago with Brandon after, or maybe it was probably a month ago or so, after telling him that, and we ended up meeting somebody on that shoot.
Yeah.
That led to probably quite a few more projects stemming off of that
Who
on
was
the networking aspect. But I remember having that conversation with Brandon, and then after meeting that person, we had like a little get together at that location and being like, this is why we go out and do this stuff.
Sure.
Is because it will create networking opportunities, it will create opportunities to make money, and then it will create learning opportunities.
Yep.
And it was like a full cycle, like a full 360 of the learning experience of like saying something
Right.
and why we do it, and then learning and experiencing firsthand as to the effects of that.
Right. Yeah, I mean, learning is the biggest thing that we like to pride ourselves on is and my thing is being a Swiss Army knife. That is a big thing that I like to pride ourselves in right now, and what I want to put into the people that we want to hire is being that person who is not just focused in on knowing how to press record,
aspect, yeah.
knowing how to take the SD card out,
Yep.
knowing how to
Can't
change
be,
settings.
You can't be linear in like one aspect.
Yeah,
Linear
you can't be
in
linear
one-
in
Gotta
your job.
know, especially now in the industry. Maybe back then, being that one person that just focused on handing the camera to the person, like that is I mean, you got paid to do that, and you got paid well to do that. Now it's like you gotta know a lot of different things.
If you want to get into that position of importance, especially on set, you have to be versatile.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have the knowledge that's basically like a Swiss Army knife.
Right.
You have to know how the camera works. You have to know how the director works.
know the
and
gimbal
the DP,
works,
the lighting,
Everything.
the gimbal, the technology that you're using on set is super important these days because technology plays a huge part in how we move the camera.
Because being that one guy that's able to fix that one problem on set that maybe that person that it was their job can't fix, you then become a much higher asset than that
Right.
person was to that.
And
that
they
was
see
hired
you
for.
as
It
they
makes
see
you
you as
invaluable.
Oh,
Yeah.
They can't put a cost in.
They'll hire you back every time.
Exactly. They see that you saved the production's ass that time. Well, let's bring them back on.
Oh, they know their stuff. They're gonna bring you back.
Exactly.
They say that every time.
And that's exactly what has
Happened multiple times.
has
for us.
elevated us. Is the people we get on set
Shocked.
and there's an issue, and then it's like, oh wait a minute, we know this gimbal or we know this camera, we know like
We try to know as much as
We've
we can.
we've literally had people tell us like, wait.
How do
How are you
that's
guys
not-
doing this?
That's not your department. How do you know that?
Yeah, how are you doing that? How do you know that? You guys are animals. Well, it's like, this is what we train for.
Exactly.
We always bring backups, no matter what we're doing. Cable cam, jib. We bring backups. Maybe not a backup jib, but we bring backups for the camera, the head, the lenses, the wireless, the fizz, all that stuff.
These are all things that can go wrong.
Always go wrong. Will always go wrong, no matter what you're doing. Monitors. We bring backups because if you are that person that's like, oh wait, I got something, I can fix it. Boom, it's right there. They'll put a smile on their face, and they'll be like, we gotta hire these guys back again.
Yeah, I think a perfect example. This is the Ken Block shoot in Las Vegas. We had an Airy on a Movie Pro with the Airy Fizz, and it wasn't working on us.
It wasn't working.
The camera department, he didn't know what to do, and he couldn't.
There's a lot of story behind it, but it was improperly balanced.
We brought our Ronin. We had a Ronin 2 with a red on there,
with
as
the
well as an
20 to
RT
120.
motion follow focus.
Yeah.
And we actually had problems on that follow focus too.
Yeah.
And we had to dial in those settings, and
But
luckily we've been conditioned into the equipment we use, and we were able to dial in the problems at hand, and we fixed it immediately. And we were able to keep shooting, and the camera department on set that day didn't look so hot.
No, it was horrible.
And we were the cable cam department, and
We were just cable cam. We were there to just put up a line, put the cable cam on it, and run the
we ended
camera.
up fulfilling the position of camera department.
Everything.
I mean,
We did a full rebuild.
At the end of the night, we ended up opping. We had John on head, I was on Fizz, and then Alex was on Dactyl-Cam.
Yeah.
Right?
I think it was a.
Was it the other way around?
It was the other way around, but that was definitely
Alex was on head.
testament.
I was on the cable cam. Yeah.
That was a testament to our failures in the past, though.
Yeah.
Because I think on that specific night, we had a full package built, ready to go to replace, and then the camera department had basically given up at that point. But
He wasn't even trying anything.
the directors, because our replacement was a red, and the directors they really wanted that Ari look. And
the DP was flown in from Italy. The director was flown in from Italy.
Yep.
So when you have you don't want to be like, oh, just use the red. We have a red.
It took
like
about
they want
20
that Ari
minutes.
look.
It took about 20 minutes to even get the red sensor confirmed.
Yeah.
To be able to be used on set.
And then we ended up switching from the red back to the Airy.
Well, so I was like, I was in front of the director. I was like,
Airy
hey,
Mini.
give me 15 minutes. I can swap this entire thing. Like, let's do this.
And
so
I specifically remembered we were on the building or at the top of the roof.
We did a complete fucking camera build on the icy rooftop in Vegas because it was like 30 degrees outside at that night.
And it rained, and then it froze, and we were slipping. It was it was an ice skating rink on top of that roof.
Yep, exactly.
But hey, the point of this is knowing your surroundings, knowing your equipment that you are using. For example, I mean, just on the special operations stuff, that equipment that you use, like a cable cam or a jib, multiple pieces of equipment can be applied to that specific thing. So being aware of all of those, those items that can fit on that piece of equipment is very valuable. Yeah. Don't just know the movie. Don't just know the Movie XL. Don't just know the Ronin. Don't just know the intuitive aerial system. Know them all.
Delve into all of them.
Just do it. Take your time.
Do your research on all of these pieces of equipment. Learn the ins and outs of them.
Even if you can't get your hands on it, right?
Even if you can't get your hands on it,
try to do as much research.
At least do as much internet research as you can. And with these days, the internet is like...
It's huge.
It turns back tenfold for you.
I can't count the number of nights that I've spent watching an RE tutorial video on menus.
Yeah.
On camera systems, on the Amira, on the Alexa Mini, on the 645, like systems like that, so that if I've never laid my hands on certain systems like that, but if I get my hands on them and I have to select menus and stuff like that, I have a general wherewithal of like what I'm
understanding of where to go and how to operate, because every company has their different menu layouts. We specifically in-house, we work with Sony. We shoot with A7S2s. but they're known for having really ridiculous menus.
Right.
And being able to come on set and prepared with where the certain menus are laid out and where you're going to be able to find certain settings, that's handy.
Yeah.
That's absolutely handy.
Absolutely. Anyway, we're probably going to have to wrap this thing up because I'm looking over here at my time code and we got an hour and 12 minutes. So
And
we've been rambling.
We don't want to spoil all the
No,
good
we can't spoil-
information for
we're not
one
spoiling.
episode. We got to stretch this out a little bit.
We also
This
have
is
to
the
go
pilot.
pick up like 3 pounds of stickers that we ordered.
Yeah, we
so-
did.
Yeah.
And we're going to,
Let's go do that.
yeah, we got to go pick up stickers right now from UPS because they didn't deliver to us.
A
again.
lot.
Typical.
Order
Typical.
FedEx if you have the choice.
But this is the pilot. Maybe you got something out of it. It doesn't matter if you did. I don't care. We're just talking. So if you want to listen to it, listen to it. If you don't, well, then don't.
But be aware.
But-
we got NAB coming up here,
Which we might have a lot of
NAB
people.
2019.
2019 Las Vegas, Nevada, and we are trying to stack it up
Yeah.
with some
people.
very
So if you're
interesting
there-
folks to talk to. So.
Maybe folk or folks or folkens.
Well, we got
and
folks.
all
Plural.
kind of folkin'.
It's a plural.
It's like a folkin' party.
It's a folkin' party. Eh? Yeah, it's a folkin' party.
Compadre.
So many folks. We got parties for days.
Anyway, we're gonna keep rambling, but I appreciate you guys listening.
We appreciate
sorry,
you guys.
I
listening.
didn't. I seem like an asshole. We, as the real bros,
I
appreciate
suppose-
you listening.
Yeah, keep
Tune
tuning
in till next week. Actually, we don't even know what we're gonna do. Should we do?
Keep
Let us know if you
tuning,
want us
keep
to do
doing
like
it.
Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays. I just did the whole week, but tell me what day
Yeah.
and what time. I don't really
I,
care.
I think we'll start out with like once a week, maybe.
No, definitely
And
once a
then,
week.
If you guys really like it, maybe we'll do like.
I don't
2
think
times a
so.
week.
We're probably gonna do once a week.
We're
because-
busy as fuck.
Yeah, we're
so,
gonna try to be
I mean,
busy.
let's
We're gonna
be-
try to be busy as fuck.
Let's be honest. It's gonna be once a week.
Yeah, once.
But we'll try and bring you the best possible stories, best possible guests, and
And it's
whatnot.
probably going to be
Yeah.
relevant to what we just did on the production previous, so which is helpful, I
Yeah.
guess.
I mean, the kit is built to travel to, so like you might
Yes.
catch us out on a production
Literally
when
podcast.
Literally.
when you get that 4-hour like downtime on set and
You're
stuff
just
like
like,
that.
oh, you guys got to wait. We're going to have drone fly for 7 hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
You might
Okay,
catch
great.
a podcast.
Well, then we're going to set up our podcast unit, and we're going to
And
do a quick podcast
we're gonna
on the day.
we
pull that.
literally might be on the beach doing a podcast. You never know. That's the thing about this. We're not going to be. This isn't a studio. You probably can hear the little reverb. We're just in our office. We haven't built anything
Yeah.
for this thing. It's going to be very
Yep.
mobile.
I'm going to have to do a little bit of work on that.
Yeah. Well, who cares?
That's right. That's why you're the audio guy.
That's why.
Yep.
Yeah. Brandon does the audio as well. Audio file.
Yep. I like to do that.
All right.
All right. Anyway, we're gonna wrap
Right.
this up. I appreciate it. We
So,
appreciate it. We all
yeah.
appreciate it. And we'll see you next time on the reel.
Should you do that one more time?
Yeah, probably.
And hit the outro button while you're talking, and then stop talking.
Hit the outro button. So
While
leave
you're
this
talking.
on.
So
Yeah,
while you're
maybe
talking, be like,
one
all
more
right,
time,
well,
like,
that
oh,
was.
all
Okay, ready,
guys,
ready?
And guess what? We're fucking off.
Ready? All right, guys. We appreciate you listening on the reel, and we're excited for the next one. Let us know what you think about this one. Let us know what we should talk about on the next one, and we'll see where this goes. If it
We'll
doesn't go
delve
anywhere,
deeper.
then we spent $600 on a board for nothing. But thanks a lot. See you later.